Yes, hi. Good morning again and again. We're back here on a live stream. Okay, we have Rachel today. Oh, Grace, you're here today. And of course, we have Jack today as well. Guys, do you want to say hi?
Hi, good morning, everybody from Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. And of course, from those that are in the US as well, or wherever you are in the world, welcome to our podcast live stream. Once again, if you guys haven't seen our past episodes yet, just go to YouTube or maybe it's here. I don't know, but just go to our channel, go SuperVA, go hit like and subscribe and share the good stuff around. And of course, the good stuff that we share here as well are like the amazing peoples that we have on our live right now, which is Miss Rachel, of course, and Miss Amazing Grace. Hello, guys. Good morning. Good morning.
All right,
Good
thank you.
morning. Good
Go,
morning,
Grace. Go
everyone.
for it.
Yeah. I'm not sure if I'll say it's nice to be here, but yeah. For those who are watching, hello everyone. Yeah, let's make this happen.
It's nice to be here, Grace. We're just nervous.
I think so. I
We
think
want you
so.
around,
Need more coffee.
Wow, thank you. And of course, hi everyone. I'm back.
And she's loving
Oh,
it.
do I? Yeah, I do for sure. So thank you for inviting me back here for this
Actually,
episode.
Rachel, it's funny. Someone just asked me today, like I think an hour before we start this stream live stream right now. Like, will Rachel be there on the call on the podcast later? I'm like, I'm not sure, but we'll try. We'll try.
I think
Okay,
they're getting
so
my screenshots.
go ahead. Sorry.
They're here to screenshot my, get my screenshots and all. Oh my god.
And I wanted to see what earrings are you gonna wear today,
Ah,
Rachel.
yeah. I'm wearing a circle one.
Yes, circle for today. Okay, so what would be our topic for today, Jack?
Yeah, it's going to be about, if you ever wondered, like, lots of people are being virtual assistants nowadays, and a lot of people have been wondering about, like, what is a virtual assistant. But today what we're going to be talking about is what kind or what walks of life did most or did many people come from, before becoming a virtual assistant. Now, because some of you might think, like, well, pretty much they came from the say the BPO industry or some corporate job out there. And yeah, there are those too. But beyond that and besides that, there actually, you might be surprised, with the different walks of life that people have had before delving into the virtual world. And you're going to be like, I never thought that they would be actually doing that, because this was their job before, this was their career before. But yeah, lo and behold, a lot of them are here now doing, say, virtual assistant job, enjoying work from home, enjoying the perks of such, being with family and all the other goodies that it brings. So yeah, that's what's going to be our topic for today. What do you say, Miss Mo?
Yes, okay. I do know that, a lot of you guys have, a question on how to start because I think there's a lot of posts, everywhere. Social media of course would be one, like, everyone is saying, "Hey, being a VA is great. Hey, I love being a VA. I have this, I have that. I can do this, I can have that." Now, the question always, that you guys would ask would be, how should I start? Where should I start? Where to apply and stuff like that. So, today we will be discussing just that. So let's start with the first. I have a question actually. So for you guys, everyone here. So let's start with Jack. Maybe let's start with Rachel. Rachel, how did you start? I mean, what made you wanna apply as a virtual assistant, and where and how did you apply?
Okay, so for me, I was a public school teacher before I became a virtual assistant, and I've been doing freelancing already. But it was actually during the pandemic when I really started, doing VA or looking for VA jobs because I was doing like I was a QA for a transcription company. And then of course this is just like project based freelance based projects, and then I was looking for like virtual assistant jobs for because I wanted to work from home, because by then I think during that time DepEd is already looking to return to field, to the classroom.
Mhm.
Then I felt like I no longer wanted the commute life. So I started looking for VA jobs, and then I just check. At first I have Fiverr before. I tried like I tried checking online jobs, and at the same time, if I'm not mistaken, Upwork. So those are the three platforms that I use to find for VA jobs. So that's it for me.
Okay, thank you so much. And right now, Rachel, guys, is our social media marketing leader. So, guys, if you are a teacher, imagine, okay, you can start as a virtual assistant yourself, not just being a teacher. If you want to be a teacher, go for it. I think there's a lot of ESL, like
Yes.
tutorials, whatever, like tutoring kids, or of course, if you're a teacher, your career doesn't end with being a teacher. Imagine Rachel, right? So she's a social media marketing leader right now. Now the next one would be Jack. Jack would be interesting because Jack is a we call them, Filipinos,
I was a
seaman.
time traveler before.
And in
Traveler.
Filipino, Jack, we call you like seaman. So, guys,
Yep.
if you guys have like a husband, usually these are husbands, right? Husbands, and you feel like it's not safe anymore in the sea, and stuff like that. So let's hear it from Jack. Jack, what made you apply as a virtual assistant?
Yep. What made me apply as a virtual assistant was basically it was pretty much after the pandemic actually, and during the pandemic time, so I was still outside sailing and pretty much time traveling, and for you guys that might be in the same boat per se, as I was back then, and maybe you're still there, is that that it's like 24/7 there, no holidays, no nothing. Yeah, no nothing really, and that's tough, that's really tough. And for me it was a simple, how to put it, like a simple thought and a simple math, in my mind brain. If I were to continue this way of life, and I think it's great, I think it's awesome back then. You have a lot of growth and a lot of, say,
A lot of
very
money.
interesting, yeah, very a lot of interesting adventures and high risk stuff. Is that if I were to start a family later on, right? How many, say, literal years would I have, with my, say, family to be and my children to be, if I'm going out of the country for months on end, or say years on end even. And I was like, nah, I don't want that life. I was like, I don't want that life. So by then I was like, okay, so if I were to not go back there at sea and I would just stay on land, I don't like traffic as well. Because the other countries, at least their traffic is way better. I mean, heck, flight to Singapore from here, Philippines to Singapore is like what, 3 hours, And
There's no
sometimes here in
traffic
the
in the
country,
city as well, Jack. That's why that's why
yeah,
you were there.
and sometimes right, the traffic in the metro, my goodness, just some parts here would take you 3 hours. So it's like, you know, I wish I took a flight to Singapore instead, something like that. So yeah, I was like, okay, if I really want to, settle for a job on land, at least it should be good paying. It should be something that I love, and at the same time, it would be say enriching and be very good for growth. Wherein I would be rewarded with time as well, right? With say family to be, and so on. And then yeah, I came across a job post back then. I think it was on online jobs. Read the
Yes.
post, amazing description and everything. I was like, sounds too good to be true. But let's see. I was like that. And lo and behold, I checked it and voila, I'm here. I'm a virtual assistant, loving it every day. Days are not perfect, but yes, I have joy all the time. That's what I can say here. And so, yeah, I can proudly say that I will be here and I'm definitely not going to go back to where I came from before. Most definitely.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much, Jack. Is it worth it? Let's face it. I think with your previous job, let's just face it. Like the money, right? You have the money back then because, again, working. I think it comes with the danger of going to the seas. It's not safe and whatnot. So that's why you guys are get paid higher as well, right? But is it worth it, Jack, for you?
For me, for my goals and plans in life, I would say no. It's money you can earn, right? Money you can earn anytime. And if you go business even, you will earn more actually. But yeah, let's say comparing just jobs, okay, no, that earns good. But like say money versus time, money versus family, I put say family with a more say with more weight on the scale. So for me, going back there and it's just for the money, that's not worth it for me. Better find a job that you love and land and stay with your family. So that would be it for me.
And for you also, Jack, right? I think with what happened to you this year, you were able to be with the family, with
Oh
your
yeah.
dad passing, right? Being
Yep.
there because I know that you have like if you were on the sea at the time, sometimes there are no signals, right? So they may not be able to contact you, or you may not be able to be there with their families. I think one of the pros of being a VA would be just being with your family as well, especially during those emergencies, right?
Yep, totally agree. Totally agree. And maybe some of you might be thinking, oh, that's a big perk because you're just in the VA world. You shut down your internet and okay, you can run wherever. But rather, no, I mean, okay, that's a thing there. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, you're in the VA world, and at the same time, if you are say with a very good client, right, a very good company, and yeah, you're just on land, yeah, that's pretty much you can be really present, in tough times like that.
Okay, so guys, if we have wives here, watching, you can have your husbands just stay with you, right? If you guys, yeah, stay with you and just be a virtual assistant because I think most of the seaman, right, this our seafarers, most of them are engineers as well. All right, right, Jack, like engineers, definitely you need to study as well so you could rank up as well. So it's not like just getting fishes, guys. It's not like
Yeah.
Okay, now let's move on to Grace. Grace has an amazing story, guys. So Grace is just like one of the a lot of Filipinos out there right now because we have a lot of OFWs, so overseas Filipino workers. So Grace, would you like to share us your story? What made you just go home, just wanting to just go back in the Philippines and be a virtual assistant?
Mm, actually, for me, before, yeah, I transitioned here in the VA role, right? So I spent several years working like overseas. So why did I choose to work as a virtual assistant? Even before I went overseas, I think I spent a couple of years working in corporate world, also known as, but not also known, but for myself, when I graduated, I look immediately for a job in BPOs because that is where most of the money is. So I started working in a corporate job here in the Philippines, and that is when I experienced long commutes, right? There was totally long commutes, as what Jack mentioned. Going to like should be a near place like Makati will give you like 2 hours just to travel to work, and then after that going back home another 2 hours, and if it rains, if it floods, then more hours to spend outside. So yeah, and imagining that, plus imagining imagining that kind of commute makes me just don't want to really work outside. Right. I
I
just don't,
agree.
it makes me feel that I just don't want to work outside. And then of course I just what you guys mentioned, I work overseas. And why did I come back here and then transition to this VA? I didn't know prior to before that there was such a virtual assistant, unlike Miss Rachel, that she has been working as a freelance. Maybe I'm not really on trend or what, but when I was overseas, that's when I heard about people like studying how to sell in Amazon, how to do drop shipping, and that is when I explore online, the chance to work online or to get money online, and that is where I land to being able to become a virtual assistant. So immediately when I came back home, that's my goal, to look for a job that will enable me to work from home, because if I'll imagine it, I don't want to go and travel, have a long travels again to Makati or to somewhere else. I don't want to have that, because before we don't have we're still taking public commute, so I don't want to travel again, be in the MRT. You guys, I know that some of you use trains, right? And if it's, what do you call it, busy hours, when we go inside the train, it's like you have to really push
Sardines.
yourself in, right? In LRT, you have to really push yourself in until the door closes at you, very close, and then toot 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 toot. So
It was
I don't experience I don't experience that
I
anymore.
like the tutututut.
me too.
Because remember, guys, I'm not sure if you ever imagine, if you ever experience that even before the door close, you will try your best to really be to go inside before the toot 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 happens. And then yeah. So yeah, and how did I start looking for a job? Virtually, that's when, just like you guys, Upwork,
Yeah.
online jobs, virtual stuff. So imagining the things
Oh,
that you don't like anymore and what you want to have in the future. So of course that gives me a positive look in the virtual world. So yeah, that's for me. How about you,
Okay.
Miss Mo?
Okay. I was about to ask the next question, but for me, I actually started the same as you, Grace. So immediately after my graduation, I work as a call center agent myself for 3 years, and then what happened was I have a friend at the time who's working as a freelancer herself, and then I got pregnant actually. So I got pregnant. I got pregnant first, and then she told me maybe you do not, maybe you don't want to work as a call center agent anymore, because I stopped working as well. Like immediately after immediately after I found out that I was pregnant, because I don't know, maybe hormones. Same thing with you guys. It's the commute. It's just that with me it's
Mm-hmm.
tricycle, because I have to ride a tricycle
oh,
going to a place first, and then another one a jeepney at midnight, guys, right? It's 11
Yeah.
p.m. and then 11 p.m. Sometimes it's 1 a.m. It depends on what your schedule is, and super scary. Sometimes I'm the only one at the jeepney talaga. I'm super scared sometimes, like, and also the jeepney would just go so fast. Why? Because you're the only customer, right?
person,
You're the only passenger. So they would go as fast as they can. It's super scary. So now when I got pregnant, so she asked me, do you wanna try this? You're gonna be working from home. And yes, I did try. Actually, on my first job, at the time I think it was Odes. So yeah, you know what? The first job that I applied, actually, it's so funny because I got scammed. I worked for one,
oh,
Oh.
and then the client was just gone after. And the thing is, the work are like admin tasks, like like
Yes.
paperwork, hey, research on this, blah blah blah. And then after that, I got scammed. But then as resilient as we are, guys, Filipinos, right? We never stop there. We'll try again, because I know if it's working for her, it will work for me. And honestly, at that time as well, guys, one thing is that I know she's making a lot of money. Let's face it, I'm so sorry, I'm just being honest. I know what she's buying at that time, like she can buy this, she can buy that, she can always go on vacation. Sometimes, we're going on the beach and she just brings her laptop and she works there, she gets paid. I'm like, I want to have this life as well. Like, I can just go anywhere, I can just work anywhere, just bring my laptop. And she's with her kids, she has 3 kids actually. So I'm like, I mean, who doesn't want that life, right? No commute, no tricycle, no jeepney, no scary midnight rides, right? And of course, the rate that we will get. Of course, the BPO industry pays different from us working from home, right? So that's how I started, guys. so,
I love that.
so I like what,
Very practical.
huh?
Very practical.
Yes, I think we should be, especially in this life, and I think sometimes I think a lot of people are just scared to try, just scared because,
Yep.
right? Oh, okay. Like, hey, maybe it's just online. They would just leave you. They would just maybe just cut you off in just 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, or sometimes we hear like bad stories, like clients may not pay you, stuff like that. But the thing is, again, I always say this. I've been here 11 years. 11 years, guys. Boss has not, never failed to pay me, even delayed payments, never. I would say never because it's never, like a capital NEVER. So I always get my pay weekly as well. So it's not just being practical, it's like right now with what I do. I love what I do right now. I love my boss for sure. I love the company that I work with, and I believe on the vision of the company. So that's that for me. So, what would be the next one? Our next topic. Next question. Next topic. Next question. Okay, so I
Okay.
think our next one would be, what's your biggest fear before you become a VA working from home? Oh, what's my biggest fear?
Mm.
That's a good
Mm-hmm.
question.
I have. I can answer this first.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because before I became a VA, I was
I remember the
already
pen
10
so
years.
suddenly. Okay.
Great.
Mm.
But yeah, when I was when before I became a VA, I was already on my 10th year of working as a public school teacher. I am a licensed teacher, and at the same time, I was taking my second master's degree. If you remembered, Miss Mo, when I first started, I was taking my second master's degree. So I have a lot of fear to really start with the VA world, because first of all my 10 years I only know is, teaching kids, teaching high school students, learning and all of that. And then, there's like expectation, especially from parents. Like, for example, my father expects me to become, to be in a higher ranking officer in DepEd, because we've been like, let's just say, me and my sister, who's also a teacher, we've been working really really hard in depth ed. So we're grooming ourselves to become, to become better teachers, to rank higher, and all of that. That's why we're getting also our master's degree. So it's really I was really scared to start becoming AVA, because I don't know whether it will work for me the same way, teaching worked for me, because I was a good teacher. I was a great teacher. You see, I believe I believe I was a great teacher, I get, awards here and there. I coach students, and we get, we won competitions here and there. I even do researches and won researches also. So it's really difficult to be in that kind of, decision to decide whether you will leave your profession, your license, your 10-year experience and all of that, just to become a virtual assistant, which by the time I don't know if I will be, if this will be a good journey for me. But lo and behold, I'm going 3 years with the company. Yeah. That's
Yay.
it for
Actually, Dan says something here. Biggest fear is leaving your comfort zone. So, what made
true.
you leave your comfort zone that easily, Rach?
Well, first of all, it's not easy for sure. For sure. But I think I was also in that moment where I'm so uh, I'm I'm tired with, aside from the commute, kinda because of the system. I'm sorry. But yeah, with the
Let's cut that out.
system,
Mic drop.
sorry. Sorry. But yeah. And at the same time, aside from that, it's system, and also I was at the moment when I feel like I'm looking at the students and I don't feel that I'm doing my best anymore. Unlike last year, or unlike 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago. So I don't want to leave an impression to my students and to my co-teachers that I was the really amazing teacher before, but then right after the pandemic, I was already, burnt out and all of that, and I don't see myself anymore doing extra miles, going above and beyond as much as I did few years before, before pandemic happened. So it was really difficult, but at the same time, I don't want to just become the traditional teacher because I'm already burnt out. That's the reason, the catalyst of why I did what I did. Why I decided to leave the school.
Okay, like when you look at the kids' Rach, they look like pencils already, like that. Papers. They look they look like
Yeah,
paperwork. They don't look like kids anymore.
exactly. They look like paperwork already.
Okay, and I think also Rachel mentioned a while ago as well, like I think pandemic, this started pandemic, right? Good thing about
Yes.
being in a VA industry at that time, guys, during the pandemic, of course, as you guys know, I am already here at that time, we were not affected at all. Like
Yes.
not at all. We still get paid weekly. We still, I mean, the business runs as usual. Like nothing changed. So again, if hopefully, there's not a pandemic, another pandemic coming in, but just in case, we I think we are on a safe, space, I think,
Space.
but hopefully not. Yeah. Okay. So how about you, Jack? What was your biggest fear? Especially Jack, with you, it's a lot of money, at stake.
Lots of money involved.
It's hundreds of a thousand pesos at stake, Jack.
Yep, definitely that was one of the considering factors there. I could, how to put it, like I could really empathize with what Miss Rachel mentioned there, because pretty much it's like that as a structure, right? You're here on this path, and supposedly you prepared all your life for this, and everybody in the family is looking forward to that. They're there, they're expecting you to be that as well. And then yeah, the other what the numbers are there too, right? And then pretty much because that's the only world you knew, right? It's gonna be like, what's life outside of this? Or sometimes even like, is there life outside of this? Something like that. And it gives fear, because you don't know what's out there. You have all the uncertainty, and maybe a lot of doubt even coming from, say, people that are very close to you, like, you shouldn't like this and that, it's like this, like that outside. So yeah, pretty much the fear, I maybe one of the biggest ones was that, right? If you are gonna leave here, you're gonna trade, something way lesser, and you're gonna regret, trading these things. So pretty much it was like that for me. The biggest fear was that. But then ultimately I was like, no, I'm gonna disagree with you guys. I have to break out from this world here because I can see something better. And it reminded me actually back then when what they call this, my father got to tell me, you got to find something way more better than what I had in mind for you. One of the things I remember from him. So yeah, definitely the fear was there. But if you guys are having fears, I would just say, just have an open mind. Yeah, look around you, check things out, and definitely you will see a lot of great stuff there. Great stuff that you might actually love more than where you are. Because I mean, what's the point of life if you're just gonna be like burning yourself every day? Like you're working burnt out
Yes.
like that, right? Money is not just in one place anyway. You can make it anywhere. Find something, find a place where you love and conquer your fears at the same time. Oh yeah,
Yes,
that would
thank
be
you
it.
so much. It actually reminds me of what Tony Robbins mentioned during the UPW. Be afraid, but do it anyway, right? As long as you
Yeah.
have, you have a higher purpose, of course, right? So sometimes being in our comfort zone doesn't really do us good. You really have to explore. And look at Rachel and Jack right now. They're both happy, right? You guys are happy. Yes.
Yes, definitely.
Yes,
Yes.
I love that. Okay, how about you, Grace?
What's the greatest fear as a VA, right? Your biggest fear before you become a VA working from home. Actually, there's a lot. Working from corporate world, you don't really know what will happen. Just like what Nellin said right there, the fear of unknown, right? So those things you are not sure, and we get this feeling that what will happen next. But of course, the usual problem as if you're looking in a role as a VA is finding your client. I submitted a lot of applications. I don't know if I'll find a client. And if you'll find a client, will that client likes you? Will you give value to that client? Will your skills be the skills that they are looking for? Will your qualities be the qualities they are looking for? So I don't know if it's the biggest, but as a VA, it's finding the clients. Will I be able to manage my time? Because you're working from home. So aside, because you're so used to working outside, not at home, you've got this specific time just for work. Your mind, your place, everything is just work. But if you're at home, will you be able to manage your time? If you see the dishes out there, will you stop yourself from washing it because you're
I like
working?
that. Or if you see the food right there, would you stop eating it?
Right? And if they're watching some movies right on the side, will you not like, be out of focus and watch with them instead? So how will you manage your time because you will be working from home? What else? I love working in corporate world before because there is like, what do you call it, camaraderie. They're like friends.
Oh.
Yes,
Going
yes.
out, you got
So
this
much
team
camaraderie.
building. But
I
it's like,
imagine Rachel.
it's like something, when you are at work and you're so focused, and then at lunchtime you will go out with friends, taking out your mind out of the job and then have some fun, right? Have you ever go after work, go out and just go to karaoke? Right, karaoke and then some
Always.
drinks, some food, always, right?
We
So
went drinking at
because
that time. I don't know about karaoke, but we're like getting
you'll sing your
there
heart
are
out when you
there are
drink.
bars that are open. That's what we checked, not the karaoke, not the coffee.
But
Just
that's
being
a good
honest.
way to relax, and that's also one thing that you'll fear if you will be working from home.
Actually,
So right,
beers
um
are gone.
like motivation. like that. Maybe I'll just, that's why there are karaoke's now here at home after work. By the way, just disclaimer, I'm not really singing. I just love
We were about to ask Grace because you mentioned karaoke a lot of times already today.
so and and one more, you know how you in corporate world there is like a promotion every time, like when you do well you will be this, you will be move up to this. Is this kind of things available in virtual world? So those are the questions. Will you be able to move up because you're so used to being an employee? Your mindset is that you want to go further by moving up on the scale, but that is just because of the part of you being an employee. I never thought that there will be like a virtual partners, like you're not really an employee but you are
Yes.
now partners. So yeah, those were some realizations too.
Yay, thank you so much. So,
Hmm.
guys, now for our next topic would be, so let's say the viewers now are ready to start. So, because of your stories, thank you so much for sharing us your stories. So, now everyone is ready to start. I want to go ahead and just, be a virtual assistant myself. What would be your advice to them? What would be your first advice that, let's say, that you would want to share with them? But I think let me start because I just wanna actually mention this because Grace already mentioned this a while ago. Like, can I focus? Right? So, can I focus? I think my first advice is, especially when you're working from home, you might be working at night or you might get a, let's say, Australian client, that you could work in the morning, especially if you are working in the morning. Like, can I focus if, let's say, there's this, someone watching a TV? Can I focus if dishes are there? Find a place, a quiet place at home where no one can bother you. But this place can also should be at, if you want, be accessible also with, let's say, you can see the kids, right? Or maybe kids can go to, maybe it's a room, or maybe it's your living room, whatever that is. I think that's that, because it is very important, of course, that you can focus when you work, because we have VAs
Agreed.
as well, that, right, like, clients will let them go because, let's say, during meeting, kids are there, like, of course, sometimes especially when you're working with a client and you have to meet a client yourself, sometimes it's not good that you have the kids. Okay, so,
Hmm.
sometimes, again, we love that everyone can work with their kids, but of course there are positions that would require that you have a quiet space, right? And I also, I think for me, like, I work at night, guys. So I work at night. I work in the living room, actually. But away from, I can see, the dishes. I have the TV here on my side, but it's off. Even if I'm working, even if my kid is awake, he knows that he cannot turn on the television because I am working. So, it's one of the advice that I could, share with our future VAs here. How about you guys?
For me, maybe set a schedule for specific tasks. For example, set a schedule of when do you need to sleep, because sometimes, let's face it, especially if you're transitioning into what do you call this, graveyard shift, you have to set a time to sleep, and you really not really stick, but you make sure to do it, to somehow stick to it, because it's really difficult if you have like different time of sleeping. You know why? I know someone, I'm not gonna say his name is Jade. He doesn't have a specific schedule of sleep. So sometimes it's difficult for him to really adjust. It's not that he's still there, but at the same time I know what he's feeling, because I was that when, let's just say, first 6 months, I don't have a regular sleeping schedule. And I realize it's really difficult if you don't have a regular sleeping schedule.
Mhm.
So maybe take check your schedule, take time. What is the best time for you to have a regular sleep, and make sure to stick to that schedule so that it will not it will help you actually become more to sustain the lifestyle, I think.
Oh, I totally agree. Oh, I think it's also like just sleep, guys. Try to sleep, okay?
Mhm.
Just try to sleep, right? And I think the good thing about having a, a good schedule. Oh, thank you so much, Phil Song. I love Monique. Can I hire Monique, please? Wait. Oh, yeah. So you can hire me 10 times more, boss, if you want. I'll say yes every time. Anyways, so going back, it's like the good thing about having a regular schedule, like you have a body clock, right? It's that feeling like even though you're not sleepy, you're like sleepy because, oh, okay, my body recognized that I should be sleeping at this time. Now I think that's what's good about having that
Yes.
schedule. And guys, I know that we work at night. It doesn't mean that you can also, I know it's in the morning, I know we can do stuff in the morning, which is good, by the way, if you're working graveyard, because you can still go at the offices, especially government offices, because they open in the morning,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
So
True.
I know we can
Yeah.
still do that, but yes, time
Yep.
management. Okay, time management. Make sure you do it on the times like maybe Friday, right? Do it on a Friday or Thursday, something like that. But or maybe Monday actually, since we work Monday night, maybe we can do it on the
Yeah.
Monday.
Mhm.
So, but I think having a schedule is definitely amazing because your body recognize, okay, I need to be sleeping, let's say at 3 p.m. because I need to work at this, even though you're not sleepy, diba? Thank you so much, Rach. How about the others, Jack, Rachel? Sorry, Jack, Grace.
Yeah, I'm like thinking about, what could be something oftentimes forgotten per se, for people that would want to come in. And especially if you're new, right? Because like, okay, I'm coming from a totally different norm, and now I'm going into the virtual world. And one idea that popped in my mind was like, when you're about to start, right? And maybe you got hired already, or you're going through hiring, and then you got hired, right? You're gonna meet with your client for the first time, work for them for the first time. I think one thing that is great to keep in mind is like at least prepare even just a small set of, say, professional looking clothes, like just even basic
Oh, I
what
like
you call
this.
clothing,
Yes.
right? Because it's like a big misconception that, oh, I'm gonna be working online in virtual world, it's amazing and everything. Sometimes, people get like how to put it, like in their mind it's like off per se, that it's not
Pajamas.
face
It's
to
like
face.
working
It's
Yeah,
so
pajamas at work,
relaxed.
right?
Yeah.
exactly, yeah. Guys,
Mhm.
you are basically, it's like a work, it's work still, but more amazing because you're at
Mhm.
home. But yeah, like you still have to have that work vibe, right? Like show up at least basic polo, basic whatsoever, you know so that you would look, say, presentable and professional still, right? Don't come in like wearing sando or something like that, because it's still work, right? Enjoy the perks, but still, present yourself as like someone, hey, I'm someone, I'm an amazing individual, I'm kind of new to this, and yeah, this is who I am, right? Something like that. Yeah.
True, especially if they are attending an interview, Jack, right? Like
Yeah.
like some of them, sorry guys, but some are like attending the interview and you guys are wearing t-shirts, wearing sandals, wearing sleeveless, like the spaghetti strap. Sometimes I know you guys, you feel like you look good on those clothes, but actually we want the professional looking VA that we can present to the clients, right? And then maybe afterwards, once you get hired, there are positions that's maybe if you're a video editor, like a social media manager, and you don't need to meet with your VAs meet
Mhm.
with your clients from time to time. You can be in your pajamas, but always prepare, like Jack mentioned, clothes where you can wear on times that it matters.
Yes.
Interview,
Yeah.
first meeting with the client, right? Also, let's
Mhm.
say meeting with the client, then you could just remove it afterwards if you want, change back with your pajama set if you want. But totally agree with you on this. You still have to be presentable even online, 100% more cheap.
Totally. Totally.
Yes.
Because it's
Oh
like, what if you're gonna be up for promotion, right? You're gonna be up
yeah,
for
Mhm.
promotion. You're
there.
gonna be
Oh,
the CEO came in, like you're gonna be presented by your team leader, right? CEO came in, and then don't miss out. Dress
oh
for success. That's what they
yes.
say.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. Dress for
Always.
success. Yes,
Mhm.
always, always. Especially Grace, would you agree? Especially Grace is an executive assistant actually right now, and she's always on a meeting with the CEO.
Yeah.
Grace, what would you say about having a nice clothes? I think you do,
It is
by the way.
very important. Actually, for me personally, I like wearing nice. So, since I'm always at home, and because we're working from home, I feel and I have that mindset that this is the chance that I can dress up myself. Right, because on other times I'm just at home and no one sees me but my family. So during work time I make it a point that I dress myself, I look nice, and most importantly I'm working with with the CEO. So I'll be introduced to the clients, I'll see them, they'll see me. So I have to really present myself. And I totally agree with Jack when he said that you have to dress up for success. How would you like to be? Would you like to be successful? Would you like to be someone that, someone
Like
can
the
look up
so-so
to?
only, ganon.
That's
So,
right. That's right. So how you present yourself really affects how people will look at you. So yeah, I think it's very important whether you guys are just still looking for a job or especially in an interview, you really have to present yourself well. And it's not only how you look but also your camera, everything, how you are visually appealing because we are in a virtual world and these are all visuals. Right.
I love
yes, that's
that.
right. Yes, we are in a virtual world and everything is just visual. So, guys, they do not, especially on the interview, they will not know if you are amazing already. But actually, first impression always lasts. Okay, I know some would be, first impression, blah blah. But actually, we are in the virtual world. What's the first basis, right? That they would. I mean, what's the first one that they would notice? It's you. It's your like your Zoom, your
Appearance, yeah.
that's right.
Yep.
And I always say this: when you look good, you feel
Feel
good,
You
good.
You
feel
feel
good.
and
good.
you do good as well, right? Especially if you see yourself, "Hi, I'm so pretty today." And guys, those clothes that we
Yeah.
have the panlabas clothes, we call it the
Yeah.
panlabas clothes. You can wear them already now, right? Because you
Yeah.
don't
Yes.
have
Yes.
plans to wear them anyway.
Yeah.
Grace
Can
is
enjoy
also
them every
wearing
day.
long sleeves. Huh?
Can enjoy them every day.
Yes,
Yeah.
right. And actually, Grace, I would always see Grace wearing. Okay, that's my cat. I would always see Grace wearing long sleeves. Jack is wearing polo, and jackets. Where I know I know that you're okay with just a regular one, but again, because of what Jack mentioned a while ago, dress for success, and that's why right now they're actually part of our inner circle group. And yes, they are already successful as a VA, even though they only guys have been here for 6 or 7 months, right? So I don't know why did we. It's just the clothes, and then we're going to the success.
Dress for success.
Just for success. Okay, Grace, you have another tip for them. So if they're ready to
um,
start, what would you advise them?
um, invest in yourself. Right? We're just talking about dressing yourself properly,
I
like dress
totally
for
agree.
success. Investing yourself means continue to grow, right? When I started as a VA, of course, it's virtual world. It's totally different from corporate. You can bring in some things that you know, but there's still a lot of things that you need to learn. The Zoom, as basic as Zoom, right? As basic as creating breakout rooms in Zoom. Those that have not been working virtually, do you know things such as breakout rooms? So investing in yourself, like learning this kind of things, because you want to give value. You want to give value to your client. Finding client is already tough. Giving value, it will make it harder if you don't have something to put on the table. So never stop learning, invest in
Learn.
yourself, continue to grow, continuously take online courses, learn something new every day.
Yes, I agree on
Yes.
this one because a lot of virtual assistants as well, sometimes they would apply on a position, right? And sometimes the job description is, let's say, the client would like them to do other tasks besides what's on the job description. And sometimes they would just resign, they would just decline, but actually, learning more is actually a great investment for you, right? Learning is always
Mm-hmm.
been a great investment. Boss Phyllis would actually pay like 15,000, guys, 15,000 worth of dollars, by the way, not pesos. 15,000 worth of learnings. By the way, it's not just yearly, okay? She gets it almost monthly. That's how she loves to learn. And that's why we are all here in this community, because as a businesswoman herself, she invests on knowledge, she invests on knowing, she
Yes.
invests on you know um learning new things. So those are not just for people that can afford. It's actually for us, because there's a lot of resources anyways online, right? So learn something new every day. Thank you so much, Mochi, for sharing that. Okay, now for my next step, I think for me, I don't know what, guys, if you have more tips, but yes, see, she's here. I am big on investing in myself, so that's what she said. But anyway, so for me, I think boss already mentioned this. Besides, the other factors that Rachel, Jack, and Grace already mentioned, guys, invest in a good computer, invest in a good microphone, invest in a good.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, you look good already. You always look good, but your camera sucks. How will they know you look good, right? And also, guys, by the way, so that's gonna be three. That would be first your computer, a good mic, a good camera, and a good internet connection. They all go hand in hand. Okay. So you look good. Let's say you look good. Jack, they have the polo that you want. I know. Grace, they have they invest on themselves, that they really paid for it. However, though, the question is, how will the client know if they cannot communicate well with you? You do not have a good computer, because you're always I need to restart my computer. I have blue screen, or camera is not good. How will they see you? Or how can they hear you if your mic is not good? And of course, your internet connection. Okay, you have a good camera, but you have a bad internet connection. Guys, it's useless still. Okay, so those four, they all go hand in hand, right? So I think if you want to start, with this VA career, start with those four. Actually, no, it start with everyone mentioned, but I think for you first would be computer first, a good computer, a microphone, a camera, and an internet connection. Okay,
Yes.
and then you can dress nice already, ayan, and then you can sleep well already, because you have all those client is not you're not stressing your client. That means you're not stress yourself. And then once you have all those, client is good, you can start learning already, learn more, right? So they all go hand in hand. But anyways, is there anything else, guys, that you want to add on the tips, or we can move on with the next topic? What do you guys think?
I think I'm good.
Yep, I think we can move to the next one.
Okay, oh my God, I think it's already 6:53, and I think it's gonna be an overtime. Rachel is here. I don't know, every time Rachel is here, it's always overtime for us. Okay,
I'm
so
sorry.
the next topic would be, I know you're ready to start. You already have all the equipment, you have good clothes, you're ready to learn, and you know what time you need to sleep. Now, the next one would be, what job do you guys need to take? Diba? Like, you also need to figure out what kind of VA work do you guys want to do. So,
Yeah.
for you guys, how did you figure out what you want to do? Like, especially Rachel, you're a teacher, and then Jack, you're a seaman, and Grace, you're an OFW before. So, how did you know? How did you figure out what do you want to do as a virtual assistant?
Okay, I'll start first.
Okay.
So right now, yeah, I'm a social media manager and at the same time in the marketing team. When I was a teacher, I was actually doing already the tarpaulins, presentations, invitations, even videos of, graduation, etc., etc. So I'm already doing that. So when I'm checking VA jobs and their job descriptions, I realized that I can work actually as a graphic designer. That's my first option, graphic designing and video editing, because that's exactly what I do already before I started as a virtual assistant. So I made sure, of course, to check first if I really do have those skills. So sometimes, yeah, I can do this, I can do that, but we're not actually sure whether the job description matches our skills. So what I did was I made sure to check the job description, create my portfolio and all of that. And then, I look for jobs that will be um that will fit my skills. So that's the reason why I applied for a graphic designer job. But the surprise is I was given the copywriting role. I was applying for graphic design and I got the copywriting role. So well, that's also fine with me because I've been writing, but in the academic side. So it's very important that you know what skills you have, and you have to understand the job description also. I think it's very important because some people, they just say, "Oh, SMM, you'll just do social media," but huh? Are you don't know you are actually what social media means, or what is social media all about, because sometimes it's just surface level. So I think that's it for me for social media part.
Thank you, Rachel. Knowing what you can do, right? Knowing your capabilities as well. Because right now, also, Rach, right? We are surprised. Like, we're looking for social media managers. And then when you ask them, what accounts have you handled before? Their Facebook account, like,
Yeah.
like I can post on my Facebook account, I can post on my Facebook page. Maybe I can do it for another client as well. Guys, it's not like that. It's different when you do it for yourself and you do it for, like
Other
another business owner, right?
business.
Mhm. But for you, Rach, like you were hired as a copywriter, but you applied as a graphic designer. Why did you accept the position?
Well, let's just say the position was actually marketing assistant. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so I was expected to do graphic design. So while we're doing the graphic design and all, Boss Phyllis asked us, along with another newbie, maybe you try to create an email for me, something like that, email sequence. And then like we created I think a bunch of email, and then boss said, I actually like this email, Rachel. 80%, I think, if I can just, if I don't have time to edit this one, I can just send this to the clients right away.
Oh.
And by that time, I there was like a transition already that okay, I will be the copywriter, and at the same time we have a great, graphic designer on the team already. So it will be like redundant if I will be the graphic designer. So that's the reason why I became a copywriter. And of course, since boss mentioned that I was good at that time, okay.
Okay, okay, I'm a copywriter now. I like it. Love it. Thank you so much, Rach. How about you, Grace and Jack? So, how did you guys figure out, what you're good at and what you're gonna do as a VA?
For me, it was very simple. Actually, it was as simple as,
Wow,
okay, since what
you're a
I'm
priest
doing
before, Jack,
is
right?
yeah, I'm like what do you call this, with what I'm gonna be doing online is gonna be so different from where I came from. I rather looked at myself, and contemplated what are the other things that I think I am good at doing. And I was like, I think I'm good at speaking, and I kind of like, about these things to.
Preaching. I like preaching in Japanese class.
And I kind of like, how to put it, like, talks about life. So I was like, yeah, nowadays, internet world, modern world, and virtual assistants world, maybe there's a place out there for me, when it came to that. So yeah, no, lo and behold, I am here as well. How about you, Grace? How was it for you?
Well, I work in customer service for a long time, so I know that I'm good at basically just the word itself, serving customers. So in the virtual world, it will be serving clients, although it is a different kind of thing because it will be calendar appointments, managing schedules. It still involves providing service to your customer slash your client. So for myself, what am I good at? There's still a lot of things that maybe you guys have not realized yet that you're good at it, and it will come. But whatever you have right now that you think you're good, as for me, it's doing the customer service thing and doing my best to really resolve an issue. You can apply it to everywhere. So as an executive assistant, I apply it by making sure that I resolve my client's problem, right? Making sure they are reminded, making sure that if they get an issue, this will be resolved and follow up to the right department. So you guys have an existing skills right now, and you just need to make sure that you utilize it, and whatever that you think you don't have, find a way to learn it. So there.
Just start somewhere, right? Like,
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
just start. That's
Yeah,
it. Just
exactly.
apply. Just start with let's say, just like what Grace mentioned. Let's say you guys are, let's say, same as Grace. Work in a BPO industry. Just start there. Okay, that means if I work
Yes.
in a BPO industry, I can talk, right? So maybe I can apply same thing. Apply on the same position. Maybe I can be a customer service representative as well. However, it's gonna be virtually. You can also do that.
Hmm.
And then, guys, eventually you would learn, especially if your client sees your value, they would definitely promote you into another position. You would learn more. They will give you
Yes.
things to learn, and then eventually, I'm no longer the person that works as a BPO in the BPO industry anymore. I do not know just customer service alone, right? Oh, now
Yes.
I can do other things, but you have to start somewhere. Sometimes we just want to be stuck in, I know BPO is amazing for sure, like especially meeting a lot of people, right? If you guys are very
Mm-hmm.
social, so you would want to be there, stay there, but just sometimes you want to leave, but you do not know where to start. Just start where you are. Just start as a,
Yes.
right? Just start as a customer, like a
And
technical support.
everything start as challenging, right? Everything
Yeah.
starts as
Exactly.
challenging. It's not as easy as
For
it can be. You
sure.
can learn something and be great at it later on. But of course, you have to try and do it more to get better. Yeah.
Yeah, just don't
Absolutely.
fake it.
I'm
Of
Mhm,
just
mhm.
course.
Don't take it. Like, I can do that. It's okay if
That's a
you're
different
not
one. That's for the
great at
interview.
it.
Don't fake it.
they will figure out, they will figure
Yeah.
out because they will ask you to do that task,
Yeah.
guys. They will ask you to do that job and you do not know, you're fired. You're done. You have to start again. If that's the case.
Exactly.
Start again. So same thing as me actually. So guys, I started as a, again, I work as a technical support actually were all my roles as a call center agent. So when I actually when I was looking for a job, it is always as a technical support. So my first VA position was actually like very technical, like the Cisco type of,
Mm,
to those who are ITs here,
yeah.
the Cisco type of coding and whatnot. So that's the
Oh.
first one. I just realized maybe this is not the kind of technical support that I want. I want to serve for sure. I want
Mm,
to solve issues. That's for Grace, it's I want to serve.
yes.
For me, I want to serve, and I also wanted to solve issues. So that's part of me being a technical support, right?
Technical
Now
support.
then, I applied actually as a personal assistant for boss. I don't know how,
Oh.
but yeah, my position at that time, I think she just wanted someone who can post Craigslist ads for her, do some research. Since I'm a technical support, so research is gonna be easy for me. I can do the research. It's easy. But then she moved me from being a personal assistant to a customer service position because she knows maybe that I can talk, so maybe I can handle this. Now the next one would be history. But I am where I am right now, guys. It's because I started somewhere. And then I shown the value that I can give to my client. And then my client let me evolve into someone else. Like, she let me do she asked me to do other things and I did not decline because just like what Gracie mentioned, right? So this is what Gracie mentioned, like Grace mentioned, like learn, right? Because when boss gave me something, I don't, I do not decline any of those tasks. I just learn from them. I do my research. I check. I ask other people who knows it. But of course, we have the internet to search on how to do other tasks or maybe
Yes.
learn other things. So that's that. So I think do you guys have anything that you guys wanted to share before we end the call, and we're on overtime because Rachel is
Yeah.
here.
It's amazing. It's amazing. We get a full information shared to everyone here.
Absolutely. So I like what Jack mentioned. Dress for success, right? So Jack, I will never forget that. And guys, of course, always start somewhere. I know you guys are ready to start
Yes.
right now because you guys watched this video. So you guys can relate to us. We all started somewhere. We were all where where you are at right now. So, right? So everyone started from somewhere. So I hope you guys learned a thing or two from us on how to start, where to start. And of course, if you want to start your VA career, please do start it with us. You can always go to Finisong/VA registration. So just like what Grace mentioned a while ago, if you guys need support, guys, we can provide you that support. We will actually keep on hiring you guys with clients. We're not just going to end on just one group interview. Okay, as long as you guys are willing and very cooperative with us with joining interviews, filling out the forms, showing up with the positive attitude every group interviews, even though you're not gonna get hired on the first, second, third, fourth, fifth interview, we will not stop until you are hired. Okay, just like Chini, you're the best example here. Chini, guys, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this. I know Chini attended 6 interviews with one of our talent managers. 6 interviews, guys. It's not counting the second talent manager. Okay, so I don't know how many group interviews she attended with us, but now she is hired as a talent manager to our company. Okay,
Wow.
so
Yay! Never
you
giving
want to
up.
start your
Yeah.
VA career, please start it
Hmm.
with us. And we're not just hiring those who are experienced. We will start, our VA Academy, guys. So if you guys
Yeah.
are new, so you can also join us because we're gonna show you guys how to start. We're gonna give you guys, hey, boss is here. So we're gonna give you guys tools. We're gonna give you guys videos on how to start and where to start. Okay, boss, do you wanna
Yes.
share something?
I know, I know. I just want to say I'm listening to all of you guys in the background and I really enjoy, the whole conversation. You guys are definitely sharing a lot of great tips. One last tip that I want to share with you. I know, we're almost kind of like doing some advertising about our service. But one last thing is if you're not applying with us, right? If you're applying with somewhere else, make sure that you don't just go all in because the client is giving you the highest amount of money. You also want to interview the client to ensure that they are quality people, right? Their business has been maybe there for a while, right? They're really good people. Like you need to interview them too and make sure that you have good feeling, not just, oh, you're giving me a job, okay, I'm gonna get a job. Because the reason why we have an agency right now is because we wanted to protect our virtual assistant. Even if your client is not paying you, we are going to pay you, and we will take it as a loss. Because in the past we were a staffing agency and we just help people hire and not, hire a VA. But then if the client doesn't pay, there's nothing we can do about it, because we didn't really, quote unquote, make any profit or money out of you. So we technically are not protecting you. We're just finding you a good home, but we're not really maintaining the home. And now we are, as an agency, you know what, we not just to find you a home, we're also maintaining the home for you. And also we have the insurance for you too. And we find that a lot of VAs really, really enjoy that. But again, there's a lot of amazing agency out there, right? We are one of them, right? We love what we do, we enjoy what we do. Whether you apply to us or not, it doesn't really make that much of a difference. But we obviously do enjoy that you are coming in here. It just that, again, I just feel a lot of pain when I found out that the VA got into the wrong client, and they worked for like a month, and then all of a sudden the client ghosted them. So make sure that you really communicate with them, and like if a commitment is a commitment, right? If you guys agree that, hey, you're gonna pay me weekly, then make sure that they pay you weekly. And if they don't, you need to pause the role, you need to pause the work, so that you don't further into the lost. Does it kind of make sense? I just want to make sure that you are protecting yourself, because ultimately common sense is not so common. And thus, ultimately, make sure that you subscribe to our channel, right? Comment down below what other question you have. We're here to support you no matter whether you work with us or not. But nonetheless, if you find somebody that's super amazing and they want a non-toxic environment, they want to be supported, they want to be best friend with, Jack, Rachel, Monique, or Grace, then, obviously join our community, and we will love to serve you. All right. I think that's all that we have. I think Sunny say, maybe the next, podcast that we will be doing is the top 10 common sense. Did we do the top 10 common sense already, or that's just in the community?
Not yet on the podcast, but we already
All right.
discussed it.
So perfect. So we'll be sharing with you what is the top 10 common sense, because ultimately we know sometimes you guys don't have that common sense. Sometimes you don't have the common sense. It's not that you don't have it. It's just that, hey, I live in the United States. You live in Philippines, right? Before I was like, hey, do you drink a boba tea? And my people was like, boss, like, we don't call it boba tea. We call it milk tea. I was like, why? It's like, everybody, if you know the answer of why no boba
Because
tea.
we're not boba.
Right?
Boba boss in the Philippines is
Stupid
dumb.
girl.
Yeah, stupid.
Stupid
like
girl. So that's why you call milk tea. I was like, well, but it's not all of them milk tea. Like, there's not milk in every single tea. You know what I'm saying? That's why I was like, I was confused. But again, that shows you that common sense is not so common, because we don't call it milk tea here. I wouldn't say, hey, do you want some milk tea? They're like, yeah, go to Starbucks. No, like, we talk about stuff that is in it, right? So again, we just wanted to, equip you with as much common sense as possible. Whether you already have a VA job or you don't have a VA job, allow us to pay forward, allow us to insert more thing for you. And, I know it's early in the morning. You can obviously bring us, for a jog, right? Or you're doing your laundry, you're cleaning your floor. Just turn this channel on so that way you can kind of listen to it, so that, you're not going on the dirt road, right? You're going to go on the highway, instead of, instead of running, you're taking the helicopter towards your destination. Ultimately, we just love you so much. And I appreciate every virtual assistant that's doing so much amazing work, because without you, Monique and Grace and Rachel and Jack would not live a comfortable life. I would not too myself, right? So thank you so much for being amazing. And we look forward to talk to you the next week.
So guys, enjoy your weekend. Have a long weekend from Luzon,
Have a
Visayas,
long
and Mindanao,
weekend,
and the
guys.
US. See you guys. See you on the next episode. Have a boba day ahead. Bye bye.
Oh, that's nice.